Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today you're going to meet a very interesting young man with a story to tell. My guest is Delvin Moore, aka 249 Ninja. Welcome.
Hi, Robin.
I don't even know where to start in telling your story, but you were born, raised, grew up in Hampton. Tell me about your life like in high school and as a young man.
Well, growing up in Hampton, I attended Phoebus High School.
Yay, Phoebus!
Yeah, yay, Phoebus. I was into sports as a youth. Grew up high school. I played a little bit of basketball, football, and then I was troubled through my younger years.
It's a tough time. It is a very tough time.
Yeah, it is a tough time, but luckily I made it through. As I got older, I was still troubled, and I stayed troubled, and I'm not going to go into detail.
You don't have to. Absolutely.
How my life became.
We want to hear how it turned around. That's the important part.
So what happened was I decided that I was going to stop drinking alcohol. Once I stopped drinking alcohol 6 years ago, my entire life changed. I decided that I wanted to give back to the youth, particularly in my neighborhood. And I started doing fitness, started working out, and I was watching this show called American Ninja Warrior. And I said, man, I think I can do that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's pretty hard, but it's cool. So I started doing my research, started training. I actually started training in Richmond because there was nowhere here to train. And
now, for those of us who haven't seen the show, kind of describe what kinds of things you're doing as a Ninja Warrior.
Ninja Warrior is an obstacle show. It's an obstacle. It's a lot of climbing, a lot of balance. You have to be very fit to be on the show. It comes on NBC. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it.
Right.
But yeah, it's very, very fit.
And that takes, a lot of practice. All sports do. But more than that, like a real serious, you got to keep your mind in the game, right? You got to be really focused on what you're doing.
Well, first and foremost, if you don't have the mental aspect of it, you're not going to do it physically because it's all a mind thing. And even with life and my change, it was a mind thing first. I had to get over the hurdle of it being in my mind. But the show is definitely a mind thing.
So you're doing all this, and when you said you wanted to give back, you're in your community. You're talking about the Phoebus Community Center.
Right, and my name, this is my apparel, 249 Ninja. The name comes from my community center, where we all grew up at, where I met most of my friends, and we fellowshipped and played together. The address is 249 Chamberlain Avenue. So I just took the 249 and made it my ninja name. I hear when you're talking and you say my community center. You don't say the city's community center. You don't say the community. You really do feel a part of it, don't you? It's personalized to me. I take big pride in being from Hampton and from Phoebus, the Phoebus area. It's definitely really personalized to me, and it's a part of my life. It's a part of who I am and how I became who I am. And I just love to give back to the community now. Like I said, since I changed my life, what I do, and this is my 3rd year doing so, is I hold an annual toy drive event where I collect toys for a certain amount of time, and then we hold an event where I give the toys away to the youth. And it's an open event for the public, not just for Phoebus natives, but for Hampton natives in general. And we have free food, free games, we have sponsors. This year I'm doing live entertainment.
You work that all up yourself. I mean, obviously you have people, but this is your thing.
I have help, but yes, I actually did come up with this idea myself. And it's a lot of work, but I love doing it. I love doing it, and I won't stop doing it. Like I said, this is my third year, and each year it gets bigger. And eventually, I feel like we're going to have to change the venue because I do it at North Phoebus Community Center because last year it was overwhelming.
Oh, wow.
And eventually, like I said, we're going to have to change the venue. I don't want to because I want to keep it authentic, but it's getting so big. And this year, I have 8 sponsors.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I have 8 sponsors, not including myself, but yep.
And that's not the only thing you do. You just had a youth talent competition?
I had a youth talent. I threw a youth talent show again at North Phoebus for back to school. I actually went into my pocket and gave away $500 to the first place winner, $150 to the second place winner, $100 to the third place winner.
Wow.
So I do this because growing up as a youth, like I said, I was troubled, and no one did this for us. It may have changed my life if I would have had the same people behind me, you know, as I'm doing for the community now. It may have changed my life. May have changed some of my friends' life. So I just want to show the kids that we care, you know, and that someone cares out here for you.
And so you had like basketball coaches. I mean, you had sports growing up, but that wasn't enough for the time and keeping you on a good path.
It was a lot growing up. I mean, I wanted to go to the NBA or the NFL. You know, those were my dreams.
And there's so few people make that, you know. But it's a great dream. You don't want to crush a kid's dream. But.
No, you definitely don't want to crush a kid's dream. But I would say that I was, you know, I grew up in a tube. I had both of my parents there. I chose my own path, though. Both of my brothers went into the military straight out of high school. And I'm the youngest of 3. So I just chose a different path. There's
so many pressures on teenagers and young people today. I think it's just it's a hard time to get through.
There is, and I could say that peer pressure was a lot on me back then. Peer pressure definitely was a lot on me. But again, we make our own minds, and we choose our own path. And I chose the path down the wrong road at first, and I straightened it out eventually. So now I'm a chef. I went to a culinary training program at the food bank, which not only showed me how to cook, but it gave me time management skills. It gave me life skills, just how to live life as a better person.
That is a great thing. I have talked to the people who run the program, but never somebody who's been through it. That is good testimony.
I actually was elected onto the board for the culinary training program just recently. We had our first meeting, I think it was the day before yesterday, and it was an awesome meeting. We discussed ideas of how to make the program better. Outside of that, I also work at a ninja gym in Williamsburg called Chain Breakers Warrior Academy, where we train kids, adults, anybody basically who wants to come in and learn ninja. We'll train you to do so. Bless you.
Sorry, little sneeze there.
My full-time day job is I'm a chef at a Vietnamese restaurant called Pho 79.
I love that place.
Really good food, and as you said, you love it. I'm pretty sure you come often.
So I'm going to get this. You have 2 real jobs. You have a lot of volunteer commitments at Phoebus and at other places and working with youth. You're on the board of the program for culinary at the food bank. That's amazing. That is a lot to juggle.
Not to mention, I have my son will be 2 in March.
Aww.
So he takes up a majority of that time as well. So I'm juggling all of these things.
And you're still training yourself?
I still train myself.
Is your goal to be on the show?
my goal is definitely to be on the show. I've tried for the past 2 seasons. You have to submit a video. Unfortunately, I didn't get chosen yet, but I won't stop until I do. This year, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even submitting a video this year because I have so much going on.
Mm-hmm. You do have a lot going on.
I have a lot going on, and I'm focused more on my kid because he's 2, and of course you know how it is.
I
when
know
they're
the
growing.
2-year-olds, yeah.
I'm focusing more on my child and on the community, giving back, and in my career as well.
So Delvin, you're showing us what one person can do. And I think sometimes it's hard. We all see a need in the community, and we don't know what to do. What made you do it? And I know why you picked Phoebus, because that's your home.
Well, I was going through some tough times in my life, and I always wanted to change. And like I said, alcohol was a big problem for me. And once I decided that I wanted to really stop drinking alcohol, it clicked on a light in my head that said, wow, it's a whole different world out here, and you can make a change in it. Even if I only touch and change one person, that one person can go and touch and change someone else, and it just keeps on going down the line. So that's what made me do it. I just want to see change. I mean, I know in the past that I wasn't the best person that I could possibly be, but from here to the end of my life, I want to help, create a better world, a better community.
I'm speechless. That is, you've put it so beautifully, and it's such an inspiration, I think, to the community out there. So how did the kids in Phoebus at the community center, or they're not all kids, a lot of them are probably teens and young men, how did they react?
Well, it's a mixture between kids to young adults. This is my Christmas present every year. I don't care if I don't get anything else for Christmas. My Christmas present is to see the smiles on kids' faces. Because you got to understand, from Phoebus, where I'm from, everybody doesn't have, everything that life has to offer for you. We don't have all of the extra stuff. So these are kids who are less fortunate than a lot of people. So for me to give them gifts and free food, live entertainment, games, they smile. And that's my Christmas present. It's just to see a smile on the kids' faces.
And it's a relief for them. It's a change from pressures of school and life and all the things going on, to be able to relax and enjoy and be there in the moment.
Right. Even if it's just for one night. Even if it's just for one night, I just want to see them smile for one night. I also forgot to mention that we equipped them to go back to school for the new year, too. We give them school supplies.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's hard because there's all those drives at the beginning of the year, but the supplies run out.
Yeah, the supplies definitely run out.
Semester.
And I can say when I was in school, like, supplies ran out around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas time.
And the money's already tight at that time of the year.
Money's tight, yes, yeah. Exactly. So we just try to help them be as successful as possible, going back to school and everything. So I just want to mention also, too, that if you would like to donate, you can get in contact with me personally. My email is delvinmoore79@gmail.com, or either you can contact me on Facebook, Delvin Moore, or my Instagram account, which is 249Ninja. And we accept all donations, clothes, school supplies, new, slightly used toys, whatever we can give back to the community, that's what we're accepting.
All right. Well, we're going to stay in touch because I want to see you on America. That will make me watch the show if you're on it, all right?
Okay.
And keep up with what you're doing in the community. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
All right.
And thank you for watching. I think you are probably as inspired as I am, and I hope we can all follow his career and contribute to what he's doing at the North Phoebus Community Center. Thanks for watching.